Welcome to Better Returns, where you will learn how to escape the volatility of the stock market by passively investing in real estate like a pro. 90% of millionaires earned and maintain their wealth by investing in real estate. We will share real-life examples from savvy investors so you can do the same. When he was 10, he crashed his bicycle while jumping it off a ramp and broke his jaw. His mouth was wired shut for 3 weeks. Your host and my dad, Matt Hansen.
I'd like to welcome to the show my good friend, Vinki Loomba. She has a real estate investment firm and private equity firm. She's an expert in real estate syndications. She's the host of the wildly successful The Real Estate Vibe Show. Check that out. She's a former IT professional and professor that has moved to a full-time real estate investor. Her goal really is to provide investors the right knowledge to be able to make wise investing decisions aligned with their long-term financial goals. So she's going to drop some great knowledge with us today on the show. I'm excited to have her. So welcome, Vinki.
Thank you so much, Matt. I'm super excited to be with you today.
Wonderful. So let's go ahead and start with how you got into, particularly from an IT and a professor background, to being a real estate professional. Tell us a little bit about that journey and how you got here.
Thanks for asking me that question, but this goes long back. In late 90s, when we bought our second home, like home, single family home. Before that, we were in the condominium, townhome, and we sold those. We bought our first home. And then after a few years later, we bought our second home. So when we bought our second home, we were in a position to keep both homes. And then we rented our first home. When we rented our first home, by default, we realized the passive income flow. So me and my husband, we were like, yeah, we figured out, okay, we can do this. And we started multiplying that model. We started buying more duplexes in our area, more single family homes. So we grew up to, I think, about six, I would say, six homes or maybe seven. I don't recall 100%. So I think it was about 6 homes that we had. And at that time, I got my realtor license. And I thought I can do that as a side hustle with my corporate job. On the weekends, I can make some extra money. And when I got my license, I realized there's much more in the real estate, not just the single family homes. And I learned about the retail side or the business side of the real estate. And I started selling businesses. I went on to the retail side versus selling homes because I didn't think that's quite my appetite. Mm-hmm. And we got into businesses. I did that for 4 or 5 years, keeping my corporate job as well. And but that was way too much with my 2 kids, 2 corporate jobs, and this my side hustle, which was actually a full-time hustle. It was not a hustle, it's a full-time job in itself. And one day I remember when I think I flew back from one of my business trips, I think from Chile or somewhere. And I came home, I dropped my bags. My husband has his bags ready. He was ready to fly to St. Louis. And then we had 2 young kids. At the time he told me, he's like, you know what, I know you're invincible, but you have to decide on what you want to do. Either you can do corporate job or you can do your real estate, because it's way too much and we don't want our kids to suffer. So at that time, not fully understanding the power of real estate investing, I picked my corporate job over real estate because I thought I have a status, I'm doing really good. And then I kind of, that job, I had it kind of figured out on, back of my, I would say, back of my hand, I knew exactly what to do with my position. So I just chose that. I stick with my corporate job. I put my real estate career on the back burner. I thought I will come back to it someday. So fast forward 5 years ago, I got a chance to take off on my job because my position was gone in California. It was moved to New York. I had the option to move to New York or just like take off. So I exercised my option. I chose to take off. And I thought, I am free now. I don't need to do anything. I am happy. I asked my husband, do you want me to work anymore or should I call myself a retiree? And he's like, whatever you like to do, it's your choice. And then we started traveling around the world. About a year, we did that. And one day when we came back from Egypt, early morning, like 3 o'clock, 3:30 in the morning, I got up with a strong feeling that if I died today, I did not do anything in this world. other than, worrying about my family, my immediate
Mhm.
family, or myself, making money, hanging out with my friends. So even though I do not need anything today, I need to make a difference. So I wanted to go back, work, make money. I created a purpose for myself to help women and children. So I already had a nonprofit, so I knew a little bit specifics how to work that. So this time I didn't want to go back to corporate world. I wanted to start something my own. So real estate, since I had done that before, I stepped back into real estate. And I was thinking I'm going to go into merger and acquisitions because having the corporate background, I thought that was a perfect fit for me.
Right.
And in my LinkedIn connections, I was looking for some connection who can help me break into that industry. But before I found somebody in the merger and acquisitions, I read somebody's profile on LinkedIn that read 400 million assets under management. I'm like, wow, I know this person. And within a couple of years, what happened? Now he has $400 million worth of assets under management. So I called him. So he introduced me to multifamily investing. So that's all is history. So I started in multifamily investing, started as an LP. I'm part of multiple deals as a GP now. And I'm really, really enjoying because I can make a difference to the women and children. Right now, we are funding the projects in India. But someday, my vision is to be global, that we can pick up any project anywhere in the world and make a difference.
Oh, wow.
Sorry, long story.
That's a fascinating story. So you started as an accidental landlord, as they say. You bought a house, you moved to another one, you kept your old one. So that's the classic, accidental landlord. And then, you retired from your corporate gig and decided, that old Viktor Frankl, you need to have meaning in life. Answers for meeting that book. So you found, then you decided, okay, you came into multifamily. And you also have another pretty ambitious goal. And what is that one? The one to help how many people?
I have ambitious goal of helping 1 million people. I wanted to touch 1 million lives in a meaningful way. And that's what my goal is before I exit from the space. And I think I can do that. It's not a very audacious goal. Anybody can do that. If you set your mind into something, you can do it. It's easily achievable because there's so many people in this world who need help.
Right.
And help could be in any form or any way you can make a difference in somebody's life. Maybe they just need a love, or maybe just need a helping hand, or maybe just need a little bit money, or maybe just need a little bit nudge here and there. So it's just like, I wanted to make myself available to all those women and children around the world to make a difference. Children is because they're the future of this planet. So we wanted to help them grow with a certain mindset, with certain goals, certain ambition in their mind, so they can grow into, I would say, fruitful tree, in a sense that they are not only making difference in their own life, but they're spreading the fragrance of their being all around them.
Right. The compounding effect.
Yes, exactly. The compounding effect, like we do in the real estate. That's the reason real estate is very good investment vehicle, because we have the compounding power, and which helps us grow exponentially.
Yes. Let's talk a little bit about that. So you're doing great things, you're syndicating deals, you're helping investors get their money out of Wall Street and Main Street and investing in apartments passively. And you're doing you've got this great cause, which I think is fabulous, which
thank you.
Support as well. So let's talk about how you're helping people. Like right now, we talk to a lot of investors and they're concerned about what's going to go on in the economy. Like, should we be investing? Should we be just holding all of our cash, or just leave it in the stock market because it's down? So let's give some little advice to our listener. Like, what is your view on, should people be investing passively in real estate right now? What's your thoughts on that?
I think investing in real estate passively, I think that, like I said, investment in real estate is a good vehicle. And I don't think it's a good and bad. It only boils down to you, what your risk appetite is, what your mindset is. I mean, I know we say we are in the bad situation right now. Economy is bad, we are in a recession, there's inflation, a lot of things are going on. But if you recall, there's a quote by this famous guy, Warren Buffett, when people are fearful, get greedy. And I agree on that too. It's not that saying that I am greedy. That's why I wanted to do it. But I just wanted to kind of put myself out of the situation and think about it. There is media telling us, giving us all this news. There are things are happening in the economy, but I'm not adding more to those stories, because what happens is when I'm hearing some news or when we hear some news, we add to it that story, like how that's going to happen for me, how that's going to happen for me. So you create a limitations for yourself, or you get fearful. And then you're just doing exactly whatever everybody else is doing around you. So here, I wanted to take a pause. I wanted to think a little bit outside the box. What if I do not add my story to make this media news even more powerful? I don't want to give power to that news. I wanted to use my knowledge, my due diligence to figure out what is good for me. And depending on my risk appetite, I wanted to invest. Maybe this is a good time to invest right now. When everybody's fearful, yes, there are good deals out there still. As long as you're doing due diligence regarding the operator, regarding the deal, you should be feeling comfortable investing. And that's what I'm doing.
Right. And I agree with that. And it really comes back to education. Now, passively investing in real estate may not be right for everyone. And I like the fact that you acknowledge, and I do as well, because some people will just self-select, but if you're educated well enough on it and you see the value in it, you should certainly, participate in it. It's one of the best risk adjustment investments you can do. It's a concrete asset. All of this Wall Street stuff going on, these are paper assets you own. It's not backed by collateral of a physical building, a physical business that's, has got value. So I think that's a big contrast to what's going on in the world. So let's talk about, so given the economy, what type of deals are you looking for to bring to your investors? Is your criteria changed recently in the last 6 or 8 months? What are you looking for?
We just closed one Class B property. So our focus is more on Class B and A right now. So we are not really going for really heavy lift deals, because given the economy, given the interest rates and the loan conditions, it makes sense for us to stick with the Class B asset, because that's more acceptable at this point. And if we get opportunity to get into Class A, yes, definitely we'll look into that as well. But we are not looking at the heavy lifts. We're staying away, or staying put with only Class B units, because it's like more solid, more sustainable class at this point. Because look at it, multifamily is a good phenomena, because the real estate, the way it's going, is hitting hard on people. And most of the asset class that's being hit is a single family home. So think about that. If the single family owners are underwater, where are they going to go? Everybody needs a place to live. So they're going to go to multifamily. They're going to rent an apartment. Right? So we are kind of recession proof, I would say, or recession resistance. And also at the same time, we are adding value for those people who need a place to live. And the other thing is, I do not like to call our tenants. I call them residents, because that makes more, because they make that apartment their home. That's their home. They're the residents. So you're adding value to their life by giving them whatever they need.
Yes. You're providing a service, a needed service.
Yeah, you're providing a service, not just like investing. You're investing with the investors. You're doing that by creating a good tenant base, making them a kind of residence space for them. You're adding value. You're touching those lives as well.
Well, so yeah, in the news, we're hearing all these things about the real estate bubble bursting, and that's primarily residential type properties. But there's going to be some residual impact on commercial properties as well. So give us your thoughts on what's going on there in the economy and how it's going to impact multifamily versus single family.
Yeah, of course, I think there's going to be some impact of the inflation on the multifamily too, because with the rise in interest rate, and if we are not able to increase the rents, there's going to be some issues there. But again, like I said, if you are diligent about what type of properties you're getting in, because there are so many multiple good deals out there. As long as you're finding the right deals and you're riding on the right deals, you should be able to give your investors the promised returns. And again, economies it's a cyclical in nature, and it's not here to stay forever. It's a temporary, it's going to change. There's always ups and downs in economy. So maybe the period we are in right now, people are more fearful, but at the same time, it could be like really good time for investing too. Again, I would say, depending upon your risk appetite. So if you look into that and then just see why I'm fearful, wherever that knowledge gap is, try to mitigate that gap, educate yourself, talk to people, ask questions. There's no right and wrong questions. Ask as many questions as many you have. Get the full satisfaction, and then just take action.
Absolutely. I was on a call with an investor last night, a potential investor, and it was an hour and a half, and we'd scheduled for like a half an hour. This is the second or third time I've chatted with him because he was new to it. And so I'm always super patient because I remember when I was in those shoes, 6, 7 years ago, passively investing in my first large multifamily deal. And so I love that the fact is really the key is education. And then maybe you find out it's not right for you based on your risk tolerance, but the more educate, the more comfortable you are in that. And you were talking about your business plan. So you're looking at class B type properties, B plus, maybe A's. So how has your business plan changed then? Are you still, what are you guys targeting for hold periods and things like that? What's your business plan look like typically in a deal you're doing now?
So far, we are sticking with the same plan, 3 to 5 years.
Okay.
Because like I said, economy is cyclical in nature. So it's not going to be the same. And a year down the road is going to be a different landscape totally. So our plan is still, we're trying to look for 3 to 5 year exit for our properties.
Gotcha. And what markets do you guys buy in?
I am mostly in the Sunbelt area and the Carolinas market. And Carolinas market is like really booming. And a lot of opportunities there. And my business partners are in that market as well. They are local. So I work with them over there.
Good. So they've got expertise and they're specialists in that market. That's really good.
Exactly, because it's kind of their backyard and they're super expert finding the right deals in the right areas in that market.
And that's another challenge I've had with some local investors. I live in Michigan, love Michigan, but a lot of people that live here want to invest locally, but it's kind of like the real estate guys say this, live where you want to live, invest where it makes sense. And that's something that you're right. It's great to have contacts in those areas, boots on the ground, if you will. So they know the market really well. They know what to look for because not every state's a great place to invest. And frankly, that's the value that we bring hopefully to investors, that you don't have to go and know what Jacksonville, Florida looks like, or Dallas, Fort Worth, or Phoenix, Arizona. We've got people there that will do all the due diligence and share that information with you. So any other critical things that you think a new investor should be looking at right now in this climate? What are the things they should be educating themselves on?
I think the important thing for any investor is just like do their due diligence.
Right.
Don't jump on the investment just like that. Somebody sharing. Do a background check on the operators, check their track record, look at the deal carefully, ask questions. Understand the deal fully, what you're getting into. Because I didn't do that initially. A few deals, I just wanted to write the deals I did. And now I think that it's not like that I lost money or anything. Those are good deals, but I just feel like, I can do much better now. Having the knowledge and working with different, syndicators, different operators, you understand a little bit better. So it's not going to hurt you talking to multiple people. You're growing your knowledge base by doing that. And do that, ask as many questions as many you can. Don't think anything is something like stupid questions. They're not stupid questions, It's something you don't understand, it's a valid question for you. So don't worry about people, what other people think about you. Just do your due diligence, check all the background on the deal, on the operator, and if you feel comfortable, take action. Excellent. Don't forget to take action, because that's what happens. We just like acquire the knowledge, we get whatever we need, everything, then still we are hesitant, and ask yourself, what is stopping me? and take action. I'm going to say that over and over again. Action is the most important thing in each and everything, whatever we do. And sometimes when we don't take the action at the right time, we miss that boat. So you don't want to do that.
Exactly. And roll into action is the mindset. Is like, that's so important. Is your mindset. Okay, you're confident in yourself and your abilities. You've done the education. Any tips you could give on mindset? Because I know you're very spiritual in that way. I know you meditate, so do I, and all that. Any other tips like that you could give for somebody from a mindset standpoint to get over the things they have in their head that they keep saying over and over, to be comfortable in stepping outside the box?
Yeah, exactly. Because the thing is, we create our own destiny. I'm going to put it this way. Because most of us, we come with a preconditioning, because from the childhood, from parents, friends, our circle who we mingle with, we have some conditioning, some limitations around us, and which might have created some kind of scarcity in our mind.
Right.
Because we always, a lot of people, they have this scarcity mindset where they think, I'm lacking this. If I have this, I will do this. Or what if I do this, I will lose this thing. It's not like losing or gaining or anything. Everything is here right now. So you just wanted to ask yourself a question whenever this kind of feeling or emotion pops up. Why I'm getting this? What is the underlying cause? And then you wanted to always stay in a state of fulfillment, that I have everything. Then you're creating the abundance around you. Because that's the abundance mindset. One of the feature I would say is that you are coming from a place of fulfillment. Place of fulfillment is you just feel you are complete within yourself. You do not need any outer force or energy to complete or any validation outside of you to complete you. And your decisions are your decisions, whatever you're making, right, because you are making the decisions with best of your ability. And you are not blaming anybody later on. Because with the scarcity mindset, you always be blaming on other people. It's like, okay, she told me this or he told me this. That's the reason it happened. So you wanted to take yourself out of that situation. So, and the other thing is, you wanted to be always, like I say, I'm always at the end of the situation side where I look at myself as a problem solver. If I see there's a problem, I don't see as a problem. And I'm not worrying why this is there. My energy is focused on, how do I solve this? How do I get out of this situation? So I do not get myself entangled in the situation. I hope it makes sense what I'm trying to say.
Yes, it does. It does. I get that. That's really good point.
Thank you.
Good. Well, I think we're ready for our rapid 5 questions. And these are just fun questions just to get to know Vinki a little bit better. So my first one is, as a child, did you have a nickname? And what was it?
Well, it's a funny story I'm going to share with you. My parents named me Vinki, and I do not have any nickname. And Vinki name is not a common name in India, especially those days when I was a little baby. When my mom was pregnant, my dad and my mom, they went to somebody's birthday party. There was a little girl, she was 1 year old, first birthday. Her name was Vinki. And my dad decided, oh gosh, she's super cute. I'm going to name my daughter Vinki too. But Vinki does not mean anything. So all those years I was growing up, and let me give you a background too, because in India, all the names mean something. Because name is a very important thing in Indian culture, because people are very diligent when they name their child, because they wanted to give some meaningful name, because they feel like your personality develops according to that. Right. And fortunately, unfortunately, my name did not, I don't know what my name means. Let me put it this way. So when I was in college, my first year, so there was some hiking trip was, scheduled, and they used to take an intense interview as part of NCC, National Credit Corp in India. So they, have to go to a rigorous interview process in order to get selected. So I went there for the interview. There was like my principal, my vice principal, and my professor, somebody else, I don't know, so many people were there. And the first question they asked me was, Vinki, what does it mean? And I'm just thinking in my mind, oh gosh, I never thought about that. But I was very spontaneous. So I came up with right away. You know what? I say it's two words. It's Vinki. So my name means key to victory. And guess what? I was selected. I didn't even have any interview after that. And then I started living with that meaning for all my life. I'm like, I'm key to victory. So that's what my name means.
I love that, Vinki. You are the only Vinki. I've never heard of that name either until I met you. What a great story. What a great story. Okay, morning person or night owl?
Morning person, yes, but I can stay late as well because I do some meditation practices and all that. So I do not need that much sleep.
If you won the lottery, what's the first thing you would do?
That's a good question. I haven't thought about that. If I won a lottery, the first thing I will say is, thank you, God, that you're giving me power to help so many people around me.
Mm-hmm. I knew you'd do that. I knew that you would take something great and do with it. So I love that. If you could live anywhere in the world, where would that be?
I don't think I will choose any place other than where I am now because I don't feel there's any difference. No matter where you go, it's all about you. And I'm going to share a small story over here. A long time back, I went for an interview and it was some management position. And this guy, he asked me, he's like, how about the corporate culture? How do you adjust to that? What do you think about that? So I gave him the answer. I am my own culture. Wherever I go, I bring my own corporate culture. And that's the answer. I'm going to give it to you. No matter where you go, it's all about you. So you can create the feelings, emotions, positive, negative, all around you, no matter wherever you are.
Excellent. Excellent. That makes perfect sense. And the last question, what's the one piece of golden nugget you would give to new investors to help them get better returns? What's the one critical piece of advice?
I would say, do your due diligence, be a smart investor. I use the word savvy investor. I do have a meetup as well. It's learn and grow meetup and become a smart investor, a savvy investor. Ask questions, a lot of questions, educate yourself on the process and do your due diligence, find out who you want to invest with, do the background checks, and also understand the deal fully.
Excellent. Excellent. And you do a great job of that. You really do help investors. You have lots of content out there just to educate people in general. You have an open forum to ask questions. I love that. I love that.
Thank you so much.
So Vinki, it's been an absolute pleasure to have you on the show. How can people reach out to you and connect with you?
Well, I do have multiple portals, but LinkedIn the best way to connect with me, and I will love to connect with anybody and all. And also, I do have my website, loombainvest.com, and I do have a free ebook there, 7 Reasons Why Syndications Make Long-Term Wealth. So anybody is welcome to download that and connect with me via the form on the website as well.
Excellent. We'll have all that information in the show notes as well. Thanks so much for being on the show, Vinki. I truly appreciate you and your friendship as well. You're wonderful. Take care.
Thank you so much, Matt. I really appreciate you and our friendship. And thanks for having me on your podcast.
Our pleasure. Bye-bye.
And that's a wrap. Thank you for listening to Better Returns, brought to you by Hanson Holdings. If you enjoyed this episode, please leave a 5-star review because it helps others discover this valuable content. If you would like to earn truly hands-off passive income, go to hansonholdings.com, where we help you invest in large apartment complexes to grow your family's wealth. See you next week with another awesome episode. Have a great day.